Hi, everyone, namaskara. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we discuss next topic of that lesson, how do organisms are reproduced. That is sexual reproduction in angiosperms. Let us start with the new topic. Angiosperms is nothing but the plants which are producing the flower. Those are called as angiosperms. In the flower producing plants, that kind of the plants are undergo the sexual reproduction, as if how the male gamete as well as the female gamete reproductive organ, male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ has a present in the human body. Like that only the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ is also present in the what you call angiosperms or flower producing plants. Okay. Before going to the procedure, let us discuss about what are the different parts of the flower and what are the male reproductive part as well as the female reproductive part. I have to discuss in this class. Okay. As in a male reproductive part, in case of the human being, a male gamete is nothing but the sperm, say the sperm. Like that only in flowers, different parts of the flowers are there. In that flower, the different reproductive organs, the male reproductive organ as well as the female reproductive organ and gametes are there. So I will give you one with the example, that is a with example. I took the hibiscus flower. I have taken the hibiscus flower. So with the help of this flower, we can understand the different parts of the flower and reproductive part of the flower. Okay. As if already you know that this is called as these are petals. So these are single digits are there. These are called as petals, and the group of the petals are called as a corolla. Single one is called as petals, and the group of the petals are called as a corolla. And what are the functions of the petals? Petals are very attractive in color and bright in color. Why? Because they are easily attract the insect. What is the need of attraction of the insect? Because the attraction of the insect towards the flower is nothing but it is help for the pollination, and the nectar cells which are present in the flower, it is produces the honey. That is one of the sweet fragments that is called as a honey. Hence the petals are very important to attract the insect for the pollinations. Okay, if you ask what is the importance of the petals for the what you call flower, means these are help to attract the insect for the pollinations. These are called as a petals, and group of petals are called as a corolla. Another one is this is a green color single what you call structures are there. No? These are called as sepals, and group of the sepals are called as a calyx. And this is a tube-like structure is there. No? This is a tube-like structure is called as a filament. At the end of the filament, small what you call edges are there. That is rich in color, yellow in color. The edges are there. Those are called as a stigma. And the stigma having some space. This space is called as a style. And along with the filament, small segments are there. Okay, these segments are called as the anther, and at the end of the anther, the yellow color powdery like structures we can observe. These powdery like structures are called as the pollen grains. Okay, so inside the calyx are nothing but the group of the sepals are there, that is called as the calyx. Inside the calyx you can observe the ovary, and inside the ovary small what you call granules are there. Those granules are called as the female gamete, or you can call it as a ovary. Okay. And this anther, the filament attachment of the filament, the small segment is called as the anther, and anthers are having the small at the end of the anther, the yellow like powdery like structures are there. Those are called as the pollen grains. Pollen grains, anther along with the what you call filament, these all together is called as a stamen. What it is? Stamen is a male reproductive part. That stamen, what are the content of the stamen means this anther, pollen grains as well as the filament. Along with the filament, those are called as what you call male reproductive part of it. Male reproductive part, you can call it as a androecium also. What is the male reproductive part in angiosperm means that is a stamen. You can call it as a androecium. What are the content of the androecium, or what are the content of the stamen means the pollen grains, anther as well as the filament. The pollen grains are attached to the anther, and anther is attached to the filament. And what are the male reproductive part? The male reproductive part is nothing but the androecium or the stamen. Okay. Next to female reproductive part. Female reproductive part at the end of the filament, the yellow edges are there. These are called as a stigma, and stigma below the stigma, it is one of the space is there. This open space is called as a style, and inside the what you call sepals are the calyx. The ovary and ovules are there. Ovary, ovule, stigma as well as a style all together is called as a what you call male reproductive part. That male reproductive part you can call it as a gynoecium or pistil. What it is? Gynoecium or pistils are called as a male reproductive part. What are the content of the gynoecium or what are the content of the pistil means? It consists of one of the stigma, style, ovary and ovules. All together is called as a gynoecium or pistil is called as a female reproductive part in case of the angiosperms. If the flower containing within one flower, if the flower containing both the reproductive part of that either what you call androecium and gynoecium, the flower is containing the both the reproductive part androecium and gynoecium or stamen as well as the pistil, that such kind of the flowers are called as a bisexual flower. Once again I will repeat what is meant by the bisexual flower means. Bisexual flower means its name indicates that it contains both the sexual part, male what you call reproductive part as well as the female reproductive part. The male reproductive part is called as a androecium, that is stamen, or female reproductive part is called as the gynoecium or pistil. If the flower containing both the part, then it is called as a bisexual flower. And unisexual flower means either one. If the flower containing either androecium or gynoecium, it means either stamen or the pistil, then it is called as a unisexual flower. These are the different part of the what you call a flower which is related to the reproductions. Okay. This is a hibiscus flower. Now we can easily understand the hibiscus flower whether it is come under the unisexual or bisexual. It containing both the pistil part as well as the stamen part, then it is called as a bisexual flower. If you want an example for the unisexual flower, you can give the watermelon, papaya. These are all example for the unisexual flower. Either it contains the gynoecium or androeciums. Okay. Then after that we will move with the next topic. The flowers are classified into two categories, unisexual and bisexual, and pollination. What is meant by the pollination? Pollinations are classified into two categories. One is a self-pollination, another one is a cross-pollination.